Hallelujah. You are welcome to the turning point. Wow, what a glorious day. What a wonderful day. What a beautiful day. Although it's cold on this part of the world I'm in, but I greet you in the name of the Lord. You are welcome, 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 welcome. Yes, help me to share. We are on today. Help me share, help me to share. It's time to share and let people know that we're on today. Is another wonderful day for at the turning point. It is going to be great today. I'm going to put on the Instagram to go live. Yes, you are welcome. Help me to share, help me to share, help me to share. This is the time for us to share. Let people know that we're on, please. Help me to share. People, I welcome you specially. Thank you for tuning in tonight. It is going to be wonderful. Actually, it's going to be like part B, but it is going to be in a way how we rebuild ourselves in this new season. It's time. This era demand us to rebrand, and we're going to go through it because this absolutely will cause a turnaround in us. Yes, please help me to share. Let people know that we're on right now. Help me to share. I'm just trying to share round. Help me to share. Let people know that we're on. Yes, help me to share. I'm just trying to share now. Yes, let me just copy the link as well and send it off on my status so people will know that we're on right now. You are welcome. Thank you for joining tonight. It is going to be wonderful. Help me to share. Yes, good evening. Thank you very much. I can see Mary Icard. I can see Ronke Adewi, I can see Adele Omolara Ladipo, I can see Mommy Christine. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Yes, I hope you had a lovely week. This week is the third week in the month of February, and I want to say shout out, thank you to everyone that made my day, my golden jubilee. I cannot but to continue to appreciate you. Thank you. Please help me to share. Let people know that we're on. Yeah, Christine is on. Apostle Diario is on. Thank you. I hope you can hear me very clearly. I hope it's clear. I hope you can hear the sound is clear, because at times from my studio here, I can see that it's clear. But going back to the other side, I just see that it's cracking, and all that. Please let me know if you can hear me clearly. Let me see your thumb up if you can hear me clearly. Yes, today we're going to be doing a lot of phone calls, and I want to create your indulgence to please, help me to make one phone call today when we get to that time. The phone call, the line that we're going to be using is +44 if you're calling from UK, +44 730 933 0100, or if you're calling from outside UK, is +234 803 9158 779. Get a cup of coffee, get a cup of cold drink, depends on which region you are. Yes, sit down, join us. Let's go together today. Help me to share. Let people know that we're on. I will know if you share. Oh, thank you, ma. You can hear me. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. And I hope it's clear, because I can see me breaking as well. I can see that my Facebook is frozen on me. Yes, I hope you can still hear me. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm still waiting. We're on Facebook, Esther IKO Ivan Akinwusi. On Instagram, Esther Akinwusi, one word. On YouTube, Dr. Esther Akinwusi. Yes, today we're going to discuss very important topic, but just before we move on, I just want to quickly say to us that in this season, this era, you need to develop self-love. You need to take care of yourself. You need to make yourself happy in this era. It's part of what we are going to rebuild today. You know, gone are the days that you depend on people to make you happy. You depend on things or depend on someone to make you happy. In this era, your system, your strategy of makes you happy. You need to set your face on a goal. It's better to attach your source to maybe probably a goal or things that makes you happy, that keeps you going regardless of what is going on around. So it's a season that wants you to make yourself happy. Yeah, I was just discussing with my sister today that there is another variant, whatever they call it, that the vaccine is not covering. They've just discovered another one. Please let us make each other happy. There's no point fighting each other now. If anybody greets you, greet them. If they don't greet you, say fini. There's no fight. Just make sure that you create the atmosphere of happiness around about you. The current issue is that there is a new one that is going on around now, but I don't want that to make us, down in the spirit. Self-love is important. Self-made is important. It's part of new strategy that we need to rebuild in this season. And if you ask me, what do you need to rebrand? What are the material? You are the raw material. You are the one. Are you a good builder? Or you expect someone to build happiness for you in this season? Yes, I want to tell you, in this era, you need to look out for ways to make yourself happy. People on Facebook, I want to say thank you for joining. Carmen Van, thank you for joining. Pastor Lubu, thank you for joining. Abioku, thank you for joining. Ma, yeah, please help me to share. Let people know that we're around. Yes, I want to appreciate Evangelist Bola Wusu on Instagram. Turkish wear fashion. Think is just passing by. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so moving on to section 2 is building to rebuild, buildings to rebuild. And when I say rebuild in that context, I mean, to repackage, to rebrand, to remodel. You have to remold certain things, you have to repackage. It's an idea of extensive change. And I'm talking about us. For us to encounter a turning point in this era, in this season, there is an urgent need for us to rebuild. And when we talk about to rebuild, I want to know what your own idea or your own definition of to rebuild or to rebrand or to repackage. What is it that you want to rebrand? Last time that we had turning points, we were talking about U-turn, making the U-turn, and we're looking into our relationship. So I want to say to us, please, oh, thank you very much for joining. Please, can somebody tell me their own definition? What's your understanding about rebranding, repackaging, remodeling? In this era, there's need for us to rebuild. So, what are we rebuilding? Why is it necessary? Why are we talking about this at the turning point? It's because it is time. It is time for us to check, examine, and take inventory of ourselves, of our life, and see how it goes. Not to make ourselves upset or get angry, but to do what? To reevaluate, to revalidate ourselves. And it is important. Please, what is your own definition? Here, I can Sister Gbemi, thank you for joining. Yet, what is your own definition? What do you understand by saying rebuild? We have our guest still coming back today to discuss with us. Is it your relationship? Is it your business? Is it your career? This is time. That's why we're talking about it. It is now that we can do it. I haven't seen what has gone on in the past and now, and having the expectation of better hope for tomorrow. Tomorrow is not going to be just better hope like that. It must meet with certain things in our lives. And I really want us to examine it today. No one is answering me yet. Yeah, please help me to share, We're going to go practical today. So it is very important. I have one or two keys here that I want us to hold on to. Why rebranding? Why rebuilding? Since you have a system that you are following now, you have a strategy that is working for you now, you have a system that you've been following for decades that is working for you now. But I want to say to you that it is very important for us to look deeply, because sooner or later, with what the era is saying to us, we will have that need to rebuild and to rebrand. We'll have the need for us to rethink. Why? Because we need to be relevant in all seasons, in all decades, and in all era. So it is very important for us to identify what we need to rebuild. Tonight we're going to identify what does it mean to you when we say rebuild. Please, can somebody suggest to me what we can rebuild? When you hear that word rebuild, what do you need to repackage? Is it your relationship? Is it your career? To fit into the next era. Because we started a new era, and this is at the turning. We need to look at it. This topic today affects everyone, whether you are a leader, you are a follower, or whether you are high class, middle class, or any class, whether you are any color, any age, in any aspect or any position that you fit in, there is need for us to rebrand. And what are we rebranding? Nobody is answering me. What does that word means to you, to rebrand? To rebrand is to re-strategize. Thank you very much, Evangelist Bola, for that. To rebrand, she said, is to re-strategize. And that is exactly what we're going to do. Have you identified what you need to rebrand or rebuild? You need to admit that there is a need for you to do it. And that's why we're bringing up this topic today, because a lot of people think that, oh, no, don't worry. Tomorrow will sort itself out. Yes, I agree with you. But what of if it doesn't sort itself out? If you are not going to put things that will make it work. So you will not fail in this era, because it needs to work and accommodate this era to make extensive changes. Adele, thank you very much for that. Yes, it is very important to make some change, even though it looks as it's working. Don't forget, last time we were saying that if it's okay, why fixing it? There is need. Even the way we talk, we relate in our relationship with our loved ones, there is need for us to identify what we need to change so that it can move on, so that we can still tolerate each other. I read in the news today that a man went to police and handed himself over to police. He said, I quote from the police report, that he said, he prefer to be in the prison than living with the people that he's living with because of lockdown. He prefer to go in to the prison and live in the prison room than living with someone. I tell you, even in relationship, we need to rethink. I don't know what you think about that. I don't know what's your opinion. That man, they've been looking for him, but he was hiding. But because he was living and hiding somewhere, his life was miserable. So he went to the police and handed himself in that, you know what? Oh yeah, he's ready to go to jail. He would rather go to jail, stay in the jail room by his own, than staying with his relative in lockdown under the same roof. And that is how serious we need to look into things that we need to put in place to make things work for us in this era. You will know that the stress level is high now. You will know that the tolerance level is low now. You will know that there's a lot of misunderstanding, mental and psychological issue around now. So just because we need to align with the will of God for our life and what is happening now, we need to recheck. We cannot just leave it the way it's going. For me, that is what I'm doing, and I need a lot of us to review and make changes. Thank you very much. That is review and make changes. I'm going to call my guest in. It is very important, otherwise we will not work with the new season. It helps our mindset and our thinking to align with the next move. It helps us to develop sense of belonging in this present time and the future. Yeah, thank you, Natasha. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much all the way from South Africa. Yeah, you are still relevant in all these things. Are you still relevant? Is the strategy that you are using still relevant? Have you reviewed yourself? This is at the turning point. Business wise, religion, culture, relationship between your loved one. You need to replace, reassemble anything, re-strengthen anything, reinforce anything. Do you need to reverse anything? Does anything need to be reshaped in you? It is a way to survive in all odds. You need to rebrand. If you don't train your sense, that is your develop, your sense of belonging, and align it what is happening now, it might be very, very difficult. So please, I need someone. Lord have mercy on us. Thank you, Mommy Elizabeth, for joining Otuyele. Yes, good evening to you, Pastor Linda. I'm going to call in my guest now. She's our guest that we had last week. A lot of people actually said to me, "Wow, this guest is very strong," and she specialized in youth. And she said, "No, Esther, you didn't let me finish." I said, no worries, Shebemi, you are coming back. Help me, join me to welcome Christiana. She loves to be addressed as Christiana. Yes, she's a one-woman gang, like I introduced her. Very strong, very devoted in what she does, and she has strong passion for youth. See that they work well, and in all relationships as well. Rebuilding relationship between parents, rebuilding relationship between, even youths. Maybe they have issues around them, rebuilding them to the lifestyle. She has this passion. I don't want to say too much, that I will call her in. She has some scenario. I think we're going to kick off on that, and also her view, her takes. And please, I'm relying on you, everyone on Facebook. Help me to share, let people know that we're on. I'm relying on you people on Instagram, on YouTube, to chip in and also be part of it. So help me to welcome Christiana to our program today. Yes, Christiana, you are welcome. We're waiting for the waves to bring her in. Yes, you are welcome. Thank you for coming once again.
Good evening, everyone. Good
You are
evening. It's so good to be back. My mother in Christ, my dear mother, thank you so much for inviting me back. It's wonderful to be back. And when I got the
yes,
phone call to
yes.
say I'm coming back, I was all excited. It's so good to be back. And, listening to you talking about rebranding and, what is rebranding at this particular time, it's a deep topic that people don't understand. I was waiting for people to comment to exactly, to give their view of what do you mean by rebranding. Rebranding is to renew, to refresh, to make that change, to make that, that step. One of my good friends messaged and said it's time for Lent, and she asked one of her children that what can I give up for Lent, and one of the children said, "Mom,
Mm,
you need to give up your price, and you need to give up working." And
mm,
she was asking input that how can she do that, and I just simply said to her, you need to have a balance. And how do you have that
mm,
balance? So that's what we're talking about: rebranding, re-strategizing, re-evaluating, looking at things and making that positive change. What are you
mm,
ready to do? What are you doing in your life that you think, all right, let me take a step back and look. I was always working. Apostle Esther will testify to that. I'll be dealing with 200 emails a day, and I had to take a step back and say, no, 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 no. What this has taught me is family life matters. You have to take that
mm,
time to look at your children, look at what's happening. And then
mm,
I'll give you a short scenario, and I want all of your contributions, please, because I really want us to look at this and deep dive into this. And I want to know, what would you do? Because these are things that we take for, or it's not even that we take for granted. We push it to the side. We don't like addressing real life issues. And what
mm,
COVID taught us, if it hasn't taught you anything, is what are you ready to do? What change are you ready to make? For example, I'll give this scenario out there. If you can hear it, some of you might say, why are we discussing this? But what COVID has taught me is that real life issues must be discussed, because people are dying, things are changing. What are you doing? What are you ready to do? How will you cope with things? How are you coping? So my scenario is this, and I want, please, please, please contribute. And if I
mm,
need to repeat it, I'll repeat it again. So in our daily life now, and this is a real life story, I won't call nobody's name. There was a parent, and their 13-year-old son came to them and said to them, "Daddy, I'm in trouble." What do you mean? The man started saying, "Here we go again. Ha, here you go. This boy will not kill us." Remember, he's 13. And
mm,
he said, "Daddy, I really need to talk to you. And Mommy, I'm in trouble." "What is the trouble?" "Daddy, I think I've got somebody pregnant."
mm,
Now, at the age of 13, your child comes to you and said, "I think I've got somebody pregnant." What would you do? How do you cope with that? The dad went crazy, started shouting that they need to, no, 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 no. They need to do DNA test and everything. And before they knew it, there was a knock on the door. The girl's
mm,
parents have come to knock on the door. So I'm asking you, in this day and age now, in this time of change, in this time of rebranding, in this time of changing our mindset, not the shouting anymore, not the
mm,
chastising, not the beating of the belt. What would you do in that situation? Because this is a live situation that's going on now that the parents are trying to address. Daddy has already given his own version that they need to go and for an abortion. Mommy is
mm,
crying. So as parents, what do you do? We're rebranding, we're changing our thinking, we're changing our mindset. So my
mm.
question to you is, please contribute. What would you do?
We're changing our strategy, the way we approach things, the way we view things, the way we judge things, the way we conclude and make a decision quickly. So what will you do in that scenario? A girl just came in and said to the parent that, oh, sorry, a boy said that
A boy,
has impregnated a girl. So the father was having it, father had to deal with it, his own way, and said, well, we have to abort. The parents of the girl came again and said we have to abort. So what do you do? Yeah, Bosse Ariyo said this is deep. Yes. Elizabeth said, no fighting. Yeah, oh,
no
okay.
fight.
I said, yeah, I said no. I said it's the season of no fighting. Fighting will not do it again. But what do you do? How do you deal with this situation?
Because now
Yes,
dad is
greater
blaming
grace. Thank you very
blaming
much. Yemi
blaming
said,
mom.
this is serious. Yes.
Dad is blaming mom. Mom is
Okay.
shouting, mom is crying, holding her head. What do you now do? Do you now tell the
Mm.
what do you do in that situation?
Wow. Welcome, Kofo. Thank you. You said, very deep. Okay. So what should we do? What should we do? Because in this age, things are changing. There is a way
Mm-hmm.
we will deal with such issue. If you are in the shoe of, of this father or mother, what will you do? I think screaming will be my first reaction. I don't know. I don't think I have idea how I will deal with it now. But now that we're dealing with it, maybe I will be able to get something because I need that turning point. Since we're in the rebranding grace, it's different now. Eras are changing, and we really need to understand that there are new strategies in place. We need to employ the new strategy. We need it. And how do we build on what you have built before? How do we build? We are talking about our senses, our notion, our strategy, our system, our approach. How do we now use it now? These things are common. So what do we do? Any comment? Firstly, I will be disappointed. Okay. Linda said, firstly, she will be disappointed.
Yes.
Then I think I will sit down and think before I will scream. But now I think coming through this turning point, I've learned not to react by attack. Attack won't solve it. So I don't have to attack the situation. I need to sit down and think. I need to ask questions. I
Good.
think
Which is
that's the way I will do it. I don't know what is other. How
this
old
is
are the kids? Okay, Kofo said, how old are the kids?
the girl is 13, the boy is 12. 13. They're both 13.
Okay, they're both 13. Okay. The boy is
Yeah.
13. That one is too young now. Can that age impregnate anything?
Right. That's what you see. So that now leads us to a broader thing that do we have this conversation? Is it now that we're rebranding that we should be willing to open our mind to discuss these things? Because remember, these children are discussing it in sexual education in school. But why do we then
Mm,
shy away from discussing it with them at home? Why do we keep quiet when we notice something? I mean, how many of
mm,
us have that discussion with our teenage boys to say,
mm,
how are you feeling? What's happening down there? I remember
mm,
my own son, and
mm.
he came to me because he was having pre-cum. I don't know if maybe parents don't talk about it. He didn't feel comfortable going to his father. He came to me and said, "Mommy, every time I wake up, my thing is hard." And I had to find a way to deal with that and take him through that stage. But how many of us feel comfortable to have that conversation? So when we're talking about rebranding, rebuilding, changing mindsets, these are all the things that incorporate. Let's not just look at, okay, COVID is there. What are you making a change in your household? How are you holding those difficult conversations? If your child comes to you and say, "Mommy, my breast is sore," are you just going to push her aside, or are you going to embrace that child? So going back to the scenario, I'll tell you exactly what happened because the child was born.
Okay. Okay, before you go on, I have
Mm.
some answer, I have some contribution here. Linda said, firstly, I will be disappointed. Then Mommy Apostle Deborah said, to be frank, I will be very quiet. Wow. Then Natasha said, it will be difficult to understand, but I think I will extend grace because I myself have done things when no when one was young and grace was extended to me. Okay, so on that note, because of the past experience, one is able to approach and address the issue in a different way. So I think that one is true. That Sister Natasha, thank you very much for that. Yeah, Adele said it is a serious matter, but we need wisdom. Yeah, that's true because we cannot now throw the child off streets. Okay, over to you, our guests.
So what's happened now is the child has now been born. Um, Mommy went into hiding and pretended that it was her that gave birth to that child. So
Wow.
everyone, yes, everyone believed that that child is hers, not her daughter's.
So it's
Until,
the mom and the daughter that will have that gone into hiding.
yes, ma.
Is this a life story? Sorry, is this a real life
This is
story
a life
or
story. This is a life story, one that I know the people personally, and I have seen the child. It only came out because wicked people, they'll always talk. A family friend is one that said, "Don't mind her, oh, she's grandma, she's not mommy." That's how the story came out. But in that
wow? So
situation,
this was how the lady dealt with it. Kofowola said, I will be very angry and deal with it calmly when I'm calm. Okay, so you will go away, think about it. I think this is part of what we need, the material. This day, we need to really think and develop a sense of present and future. We have to think about the long run, the effect of what it will be in the family. You can hear the guest. The guest said the family dealt with it in their own way after the
mhm,
mom had, screamed, shouted, and everything. They now, when maybe they traveled, obviously
yes,
I will cry. Okay, Evangelist Balawusi said I will cry. Okay, Koforola said wisdom is needed. Natasha said I have started having the conversation with my girls
well done.
already. I fell pregnant at 17 and I don't want them to repeat the same. Wow, that is a big thing. So I wonder how Natasha dealt with it. Minister Natasha, maybe you can call me. Yes, I really want people to talk about this. How do you open up such a topic? How do you open it up? Do they understand you? So what do you see to how the mommy approach guests? How do you see to it? Okay, wait. Somebody said, okay, Apostle Deborah said, think deeply on the solution. Okay, we have to think deeply on the solution. That is what I want to ask. That can 13 years old produce. Okay, mommy Elizabeth said, yes, I think from the age of 10 or even younger now, we're seeing all sorts of things, and we need to understand this era. That's why rebuilding our understanding and senses of reasoning in order to accommodate the changes around us. It could be in a relationship, it could be in a career. Don't stick to one business if it's not working, because I've seen where everybody is saying, "No, yes, let us pray, oh, my business." What about if you need to what about if you can look into what is selling better now? We talked about it last time. Wow, she sacrificed for her daughter. Wow, yeah, somebody said she sacrificed for her daughter. You can call us on +44 730 933 0100 +44. Please, can somebody help me to key that thing? I will pin it. If you can help me type it, the number +44 730 933 0100, and that is if you are calling from UK. But if you are calling from outside UK, it's +234 803 9158 779. 234, that is +234 803 9158 779, and that is to pull a call through. Please, if you want to contribute, it is very important for us. I think I saw Pastor Yewande passing. Thank you very much for coming. Yes, Adele said maturity does this day start from age 9. Okay, maturity, that is puberty. Okay, start from 9. Okay, yes, we are learning. So what do you see our guests to, what will you say to that kind of intervention that the mother put through? Is it realistic? Can
It's
we do
realistic.
that this day?
It's realistic because that's how the mother felt. The father left her for a while because he couldn't cope with it. And now daddy and mommy are back together. They treat this the same child they wanted to abort is the one now that they hold like is their most precious gift that
Mm,
they do thing for. So in every situation, we must deal with it according to how we can. Do not let other people, and it's easy for me to say it, but the influence of people could have turned the whole situation to a different thing. But
mm,
mother dealt with it in her own way, kept it to herself, and dealt with it how she felt. Took the girl back to Ghana. They had the baby there, and then came back, and they're living. They've even got a restaurant in East London. So that's how I know that this is proper because But grandma is looking after baby. Everyone thinks that's grandma's
wow,
daughter, but everything is fine. The child is now
wow.
2 years old. Daughter is back
Mm,
in school. Everything is going well. So people might judge her, but is
mhm,
it our business? So when we're talking about rebranding, how are you changing? What changes are you making? Are you prepared? Because I heard somebody said, I hope that auntie called in that said that she had a baby at 17. How was she judged? How was she looked? Because even at 17, I was 24 when I gave birth to my first son. And even at that, I got, are you mad? You haven't finished school. You're coming with pregnancy. Is this your degree? So at what age do you have these discussions? Are we making a change? Are we even bothered to have this conversation? I know somebody mentioned there to say that they've already started. Yeah, it was Natasha that said, I've already started having this conversation with my girls. But how many of us are having this conversation, not just with the girls, but with boys? Because
mm,
remember, it takes a boy to impregnate a girl. Are you having that conversation with that boy to
mm,
explain what it means? Or
mm.
are we still living in the past and saying, when the time is right, oh, don't worry, it won't happen to me. God forbid, it is not my portion. Are we still living in that past, or are you
I
ready to replan
I
and
think
change?
Christiana, is very important for us not to make mistake. I know some of the things that we're discussing now. Some people will say it's over my dead body. In my home, that can never happen. For my children, it can never happen. In my relationship, no, no, no. And I know how to handle it, and also we will pray about it. When we pray about it, and all these things. We must not be in denial. That's why I made mention of identifying the need for change. Linda said, I heard of 10-year-old that gave birth some years back in UK. You see, so we should understand, we should not freak out on this thing. It's happening and it is now. Olanike said that would have been a terrible experience for someone involved. It is only God one can turn to in such difficult situation. Is true, to give us wisdom. The family actually dealt with it well. It is only a loving and understanding family that could take the route that the family took. God will uphold them. Yes, so how can we? Thank you very much for that. That is very key. That is over. I guess the mom did that to cover up the shame. Yes, and part of the reason why we need to rebuild. Now, a lot of people are saying that, but nothing wrong with me. My business is even booming. Things
Mm-hmm.
happening. A lot of people are saying to me, I put in some information, nobody is replying to me. I phoned the offices. I've been trying to get to Nigeria House now. Let me tell you, a lot of people that hold some position that we send email to, they died in COVID. A lot of things are changing. And some of us, we said, oh, it really doesn't matter to me. Nothing happens to me. But I want to tell you, because some people have been affected badly by this, it will automatically affect us. Because you see, there is a ripple effect of what is going on all around about us. The way we are thinking are changing. We need to look at the things that we need to approach differently. And I know now that we know that even younger age do get pregnant. Things happening now. Serious things are happening now. We're not looking at the negative side, but we are preparing our senses, our developing, mindset, not to be rigid and not to say that, oh, if it is not damaged, how do you say that phrase, Christiana? If there's not damage, there's no need to fix it. How do you say that again? Yeah,
If,
if nothing wrong
if
with
it's
it,
not, yeah,
yeah.
if it's not broken, why fix it?
If it's not broken, why do we fix it? We need to rebuild. We need to fix it. So that, how do we fix this? I said, and I made this question. I thought maybe someone would give me that answer or help me with that. How do you now rebuild? Like what someone suggested, that the woman was covering the shame. The woman had to think about the future. While you are rebuilding, what are the raw materials that we need? I put this, I want to ask you as well, viewers, you can put your call through as well. What are the raw materials that we need? The opportunity. For me, it's opportunity. I don't know about you. What do you say to that? What are the raw material we need to rebuild? Information, like what you are giving us. And opportunity is everywhere now. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
that's changed in this era is creating all lots of different opportunities. Some people are still saying, I don't like Facebook. I will never be part of Facebook. I don't like social media. I will never. I remember I was speaking to a woman of God, and I said a man was arrested at the station preaching Jesus. I
Hmm.
think this weekend. So was arrested. So the guy put it that, oh, they won't let me preach. And the woman of God said to me that he can easily go on social media and preach. You see, that is part of us not looking at the other option, not rebuilding, not re-strategizing. It's good to propagate, but now there's lockdown. So
Hmm.
obviously, you need to re-strategize. You cannot say that, oh, you can't use, oh, me, I don't do banking. I have to go to the bank. I have to go to the bank. I don't do online banking because of scammer. I understand that. But how do you fit in and relevant in this season? When I was doing the 8 day spray, some people say, oh, I don't go on Facebook. I look at the amount that, look, you are still there in 2030. Or where is it? 19, 18, 30. I don't go on Facebook. I don't go on this. I don't go on that. Like, excuse me, where are you going to fit in later? If your job now will require you to go online to do it, the job that you so happy, going for and earning money, What are you going to do if we don't want to review, if we don't want to rethink? Some people will say, yeah, there's no need for it, so I won't have to worry myself till then. So what are the raw materials that you see that we need? I don't know. I can't find my comments. People that are commenting, I don't know where I put it.
You've just
Yes.
said it, Matt. You've just said exactly what it is.
Mm,
One, it's wisdom. Second
mm,
one, information. You know, there's this saying, information is power. Information is key. If
mm,
you block yourself to say, oh, I'm not going on this, I'm not going to that, I'm not going to this, because there was another lady that gave an example that since she gave her life to Christ, she has cut off Facebook, she has cut off Instagram, she has cut off this, she has cut off that. And I asked her, I said, okay, you've done all of that, and what have you gained from it? No, I'm more closer to God. I'm, all of this. And I said, that's really good. However, do you do online banking? No, just like what you're saying, the same scenario. That's why I was smiling as you were saying it. And I listen to people say this all the time that I've given this up, I've given that up, I've given that up because it brings me closer to God and everything like that. But in reality, are you doing yourself any favor? Because you still need to listen to the news. You need to know what's happening. You need to be in there. Yes, you don't have to be participating, but does that mean that? So information is key. Knowledge is powerful. What are you doing with the information that you receive is what makes the difference. If you're getting information because Google, the internet is so wide now that before you want to do anything, you go on there, you can even check your map, you can do this, you can do that. But if you block yourself to all of that, what are you gaining? So
mm,
people really to rethink about things and really rebuild your mind, because just
mm,
because you're on Facebook does not mean you have to look at things there that does not stimulate your mind. You can go on there
mm,
because now Facebook, Instagram, so many things is what we use to share information, is what we use to gain information. You can even People don't even carry their Bible to church anymore. It's on their phone.
mm, mm,
Everything is social media. So you can gain a lot. It does not mean you have to pollute your mind with it. It's what you do with the information that you gather is what makes it. So when you're talking about re-strategizing, again, we need to look at our own mind. What information are you storing in your mind? It's just that when you're going for a new job, you need to
mm,
look at the profile. Then you
mm,
evaluate job for me. Is this
mm,
really what I want to do? You cannot just jump into a job. I cannot say I can fix electric poles because I know that's not within my remit. No
mm,
matter how you try and teach me, I'm scared of height, so that will not
mm,
work for me. So when you're strategizing, we spoke a little bit about this the last time when we're speaking about how do you make that change? What
mm,
are you prepared to do? Not every job is suitable for everyone. We used to
mm.
do Microsoft Docs and the different computer programs. That's all changed now. So you cannot be stuck in your past. You need to use this
Okay.
rebranding to make a change.
Wow. Thank you very much for that. So I was asking, what are the raw materials? I'm asking everyone online on Facebook. Thank you for joining. Momini Kedare, please help me to share, let people know. Thank you for joining, Abigail. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for joining on Instagram. I appreciate you, Yahoo Baba. Thank you, ma. Yes, please. I want to ask this question. What are the things that we need to rebuild ourselves, to rebrand, to repackage ourselves? I remember, I want to give my own scenario. I've attempted to do so many businesses. I have tried. When I try one, it doesn't work. Then I'll go for another one. Then I will look for the opportunity. I will try again. I will not give up. I will believe in myself, put it in prayer, like someone will say, and try and follow the learning trade, like the things that you need to know. And still yet it's not working. What do you
Mhm.
suggest? Should I just give up and stay there? What is your own opinion, viewers? I want to see our opinion tonight. Yes, what do you need? Do you need a professional builder to rebuild things for you? Or do you have the capacity? Do you have the understanding? Do you need to seek professional help? Do you value the importance of rebuilding? What are the benefits? It makes you to stand out. You make use of opportunity. You don't let it pass you by. When I do this, I go for another one. Even if I find myself on the floor, I will still rise again, want to do it. And I'm still going on, keep on looking for the opportunity. If this doesn't work, I'm not going to get stuck with it. I will keep carrying on. And I want to encourage us that we are the raw material. We have the energy in us for this rebuild. We don't need to copy. This is not the era to copy anymore. This is not the era to start crying over speed me. You know, the family that you told us about can cry. I can keep crying and crying and crying now, and said, oh, things are not working. This is at the turning point. I want us to see the turning point be opportunity, information that you are getting now. Are we using it to do something different? Are we changing our approach or strategy? We need to. And this is what I'm saying. There must be willingness to change. Thank you very much, Mommy Ayombeku, and adapt to new normal. There is a need for us to identify the need, admit it. Don't be in denial. Don't say that, don't worry, I will see what people are saying, then I will follow it. I will see other people are doing, I will follow it. No, 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 no. In this era, this is the opportunity now for you and I to rebuild something that we want, a new structure, a new pattern that will fit in with this new normal. Surround yourself with positive people. Think, Adele said, thank you very much for that. Create a vision. That is
Mm.
it. Those are the material that we need. We need to create vision. Revisit your SWOT. Oluwa. What is the SWOT, Evangelist Paula? Yeah, Kofo put a thumb up that she agreed. We refuse our SWOT. Yes, top soccer. Thank you for joining. Yes, so what is our SWOT? Please help us to break it down. So we need to revisit it. We need to have vision in this season, please. We need to see what is going on. I don't know why my Facebook is not allowing me to, my search engine is not allowing me to put people's comments on for some reason. I don't know. I must have pressed something and engineer is not here. So surround yourself with positive people. Adele said, thank you. Mommy Christine said, we definitely need to rebuild the way we parent our children to able to connect to them. Yes, she was saying it yesterday. To pass on the knowledge to them, we need to connect. We must be open to new things. That is another thing. That is where that opportunity comes in. We have to have that, we have to be able to embrace. I hope you will agree with me, guys. We have to be
Yes.
able to embrace. We need to have the reason, the rationale behind what we're doing now. And I've made mention of it to be relevant, to function well in this new era, and to be on top of all challenges. I'm not saying because we are rebuilding or rebranding, challenges will not come. It will come, but it helps you to be on top of it. The previous system and the plan is okay. And some people will say, it's okay with me. I don't want to change. That's me. This era, you cannot say, that's me. Yes,
Mhm.
okay. Evangelist Bola is breaking it down that the strength, the weakness, the opportunity, and weaknesses. Okay, we need to revisit it and build on our strength. Okay, Kofo said, write down your goals and work on it. Yes, I was reading something today and he said to rebuild and for you to be happy as well. You don't need, if you used to depend on people, put your hope on people. You work 100% with people, getting results from people. In this era, it might not work because the people you want to rely with might not be able to give you that answer. Yeah, people are giving us the thing now. Yeah, I don't know whether you can read any comments there as well from Facebook. Yeah, so Shade Agatha said people need to know what works for them. That's true. That is the raw material. We need to be able to identify it. Seek for help too, and know your capacity. Three, yes, like we mentioned, someone, that's all our points has been so key. Thank you for this contribution. It's so valid. It's so valid. Be able and ready to make changes. Yeah, that is evaluation. Is readiness. That is why we're preparing. This is at the turning point. We must be ready to, to open our mind to the changes and the opportunities. It's coming, but because we are not training our senses to these changes and opportunity is passing us by. Things are happening out there. He says someone like me can do business. So I face what works for me and face my profession. Can't do
mm,
business. Okay, someone like me, she said she can't do business. So she just face her profession, pray and focus. Okay, so
mm,
I probably need to focus and still be pursuing. We must not give up. We must develop that energy. Yeah. Grace said, invest your time and money in learning materials for necessary updates. Yes, I believe in that. Yes, it's a valid point. Yet to create awareness through networking, get informations. That is Abosede, thank you very much. Yemi said, Oni, he said the first material is to base your mindset on God. One, open your mind to information. Two, be ready to be fixed. Wow. Three, how do you get fixed? Wow. Know that you can't know all. That is the truth. That is the reality. Be ready to learn even from the young and don't
mm.
neglect people's words. Yeah, I'm trying to do it. Don't people's towards your journey, but don't depend on them too much. Yes, I agree. Think ahead and provide means to solve prob people's problem. Wow. So another thing that when we're thinking, thank you very much for that information. It's so powerful. Yes, thank you. It says that we must be, in all that we're rebuilding now, we must be problem solver, either in our profession, in our businesses. And I have made up my mind that I'm not going to give up.
Mhm.
Trying to build a training school, trying to do this is not working. In my community is hard. So I stop now focusing only on my community, because I noticed that my community and the generation that doesn't like to learn. So if I'm having a training school, I need to now think why. I need to think why. How can I sell it to people that are not, of from my background? And because that one alone are barriers. But I'm not going to give up. This is a new era. I'll try another opportunity in this era to make sure that it works. We might attempt to rebuild, it might fail, but don't give up. What is
Yeah.
your take on that? To encourage people not to give up, because a lot of people have tried to rebuild, a lot of people have dabbled into new businesses, a lot of people have tried to resolve problem in their relationship, but it's still not working out. What will you advise them? What
And I
Okay, invest on your strength and opportunity. There, that is Evangelist Bola. Yes. Okay. What do you
think
think?
that so somebody put it on the chat to say be around positive people. You just exactly said the right thing, that you are not going to give up. Look at the wider surrounding. If these people are not moving with you, move away from them. It's a
Mm,
rebranding, it's a renewal time. If you think that there's somebody around you, every time you tell her that you want to do something, you tell him, I want to do something, they're always bringing you down. Cut that person loose. You don't have to tell them your ideas. You don't have to put yourself out there. So do things in your own way. Never give up on your dreams. It
mm,
might just be that you surround yourself with positive people. Surround
mm,
people that are going to help you build, that's going to help you to re-energize yourself. Because sometimes we get so down in our spirits, we need those right people around us to help us, to build us back up, to encourage us. Encourage yourself. I always use the mirror as my reflection, and I'll stand in front of the mirror and I talk to myself, you can do this. I can do
mm,
it. I'm going
mm,
to do it. I will do
mm,
it.
mm,
So those things that we need to be saying to ourselves, to positive thinking, think positively. You can do it.
mm,
Starting a
mm,
new business now is a hard time we're in.
mm,
Don't allow society to make you think that you cannot do it, that you cannot build a business. You can do the
mm,
business. You can
mm,
move on. That's why we say that social media is so wide. There's so many contacts that you can make. You can reach out. They've got so many groups, black businesses. If you think that the cycle you're around is not moving forward, look at a way to move it around. Look at another
mm,
strategy. Re-strategize yourself. Get a book. Get a
mm,
diary. Write your things down. Plan yourself. Be your own best friend. Be your own
mm,
encourager. You don't always need somebody that's always going to put you down. Once they're not moving with you,
Sorry, let me come in there. What about if when I'm really down, if someone is down there and they can't even pick themselves up, how can that person now be his or her own friend?
you will go back to the whole thing of self-love. Because
Mm,
if you work on yourself, and we can talk about that and say that forgiveness plays a part in it as well, because
mm,
if you're down and you're feeling down, there's a reason why. You need to search yourself and find out,
mm.
why am I down?
Yeah,
It's hard, it's a hard thing to come out of, but
yeah.
it's come to self-love.
Wow.
If you're down, speak to yourself. What do you like doing? Go for a walk. Rethink things. Don't reflect on the negative. And that's what
Mm,
brings up people down, is that they stay in that rot because they're thinking about, oh, it didn't work then. Oh, it's never gonna work. Oh, I can't do this. And when you start putting that self-doubt in yourself, then you become down. But if you
mm,
wake up in the morning, right now a lot of people are working from home and they're finding it so difficult that, here's the reason why the man went to hand himself in the police station. Wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, get dressed like you're going to work. Don't
mm.
just sit in that pajamas the whole day. Open
Wow.
the window, open the window, get
Okay.
fresh air. Yeah, all of that builds you as well. But if you just wake up, oh, I'm working at home, so I'll just take my laptop and put it on the bed and work from there, you're just bringing yourself down and you just get depressed. But get up, get dressed like you used to do, move
Mm,
things, do things you used to do previously. Don't
mm,
allow the situation to bring you down. It's a very
mm,
difficult thing, but work within yourself, work with yourself, and lift
mm.
yourself up. You
So
cannot lift others, you
what
cannot lift
about
yourself.
if there is no money? Like when there is no money, hard to find currency is hard, and we need, some people believe that we need money to do this rebuilding, rebranding, repackaging, that the money, 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 money. So how do I get myself into it? Someone said, I love you, guests. Cut negative people loose. Yeah, I know it's very, very important. At times, the negative people helps to wake you up. There are some people that will pass comment. You see a lot of frustration all around, and you'll be wondering, why are people so hostile to each other? It's so bad now in African country, part of the African country that I came from. People are kidnapping, doing all sorts
Hmm.
of things for ritual. People just went ballistic, as if everybody's psychological thing is not on, like something is not right. Even the government, the people cannot sleep, people live on caffeine, people are trying to get way round of things. It's so hard, cannot see the way out of this situation. This is the turning point, I guess. From that scenario that you gave us, if you sit down, you can apply the same principle that was applied and by that family to every situation, your
Yeah.
career, your business. The art is not going to end. Are you on
No.
the art is not going to end. We need to sit back, calm, try to identify this thing. In there, you are building up power, you are building up the inner resistance. We need to be resilient in this season. We should not allow the blow to blow us off balance. We need to stand up. We cannot, in this season, don't even try to deny or run away from challenges, because it
Hmm.
keeps chasing you. If I'm owing now, I tell them, please give me some time. I don't want to come and die. Give me some time. I will sort it out. Try and write to them, send them email.
So right,
Because,
ma.
sorry.
You're so right. There's with debts, there's so much that in this country that we're in particular, I don't know if people have heard of Step Change. I'll put it in the chat. Step Change is an organization that helps you to come out of debt. You can be paying,
Mhm,
and something they call token payment. Make contact with these people. You do not have to be in the rut and think, oh my gosh, I've got all the debts in my head. Make,
mm,
like, just exactly what you said. Pick up the phone them, come to an agreement. The banks have said, if you have a debt and you're paying a token payment could be £5, it could be £2, so long as they see
mm,
your interest. The interest
mm,
will be free, and you be paying that £2 until you build yourself and you increase it and you go from there. So you don't have to ignore, and that's what builds the problem, because you get this letter and you ignore it. Oh, I'll rob Peter to pay Paul before you robbing Jennifer to pay Patricia, and it's not fixing together. So you have to manage. Get pen and paper, phone these people and put it down. You refer to some
So
people
part
that
of the way to rebuild is to manage. So
to
management,
manage.
our management skill, our sense of management of things, issues, challenges must be on a different gear now. I just want to read as we round up. Lucy Bab said, by understanding that no one in this world can love you more than you, be kind to yourself
Yes.
regardless. So it is very important. Yes, Olanike said the easiest means of success is to do what gives you joy. If it is your passion, you will strive to survive and succeed in the face of challenges that comes with your endeavors. Overall, be sure it is it is in the will of God for you, because nothing is beyond Him. Yes, I agree with you. That's a valid point. Yeah, Mommy Mary said, yes, believe in yourself. That is very key. Florence Demon, thank you for joining. Olanike said, always ask for help and advice where needed for from successful and experienced people you trust and that are in the same shoe or has been in the past. Yes, again, Mominika said, yes, step change. Yes, step change help you to manage. Yeah, that's true. If we, yeah, nobody calling today, but thank you very much for joining, for joining. I want to thank our guests. Yes, I know this is the time for the U-turn. This is the time to rebuild. It is now. To be honest, it is now. I keep hearing that in my spirit. It is now, because we don't want to wait till when it's late to rebuild. And the secret to rebuild is not to give up. And we must
Mm,
understand that all these things needs management. Some things will not happen by itself if we don't take the necessary opportunity that comes our way now. Yes, we've talked about it. Please, I'm begging us. This is not the age and era that you say you shut down all your social media because you don't want to be distracted. You are distracted already because things are going that you are not even aware of, and things are happening there. Like we said, there are opportunities going up there. There are so many things that we can learn. There are so many things that can help us, even in this era, for us to be able to sail to be on top of our challenges. I'm not saying that will eradicate challenges, but we make it to be on top of it. We make it to be a better manager, make it to be relevant, gives you the opportunity for more open doors. Because if you're down here and every other people are coming up there, by the time you want to come up there, they've gone up there. So you don't want to be at the bottom of the stairs, because people will step on one to get to the top. If you sit and you're just waiting, it's time to rebuild. It's time to repackage. It's time to rebrand. It's time to change. Go and look for all these big, big words that I'm saying. What does it mean to rebrand? What does it mean to repackage? What does it mean to remold our sense, our mindset, our thinking, our ideology, our beliefs? Is it the same way that we approach situation we're going to approach it now? Is it the same way we approach challenges we're going to approach it in this era? Is it the same way that you're praying, you're still going to pray? You're not changing anything about your life? I tell you, this is the high time that we need to change. We need to rebuild. It doesn't matter. Some people will say, "There, I don't think I have any problem. My house rent is still the same. My mortgage is still the same. I'm still okay. I'm using the same car. I'm doing well. My insurance is still the same." I want to say to you that in no time, this thing is going to change, and you need to make allowance for it now. This is at the turning point. I want to say thank you to everyone that has joined today. It has been a wonderful time, and I want to us to take hold of what we've learned. Until we come your way, I want to say thank you to Christiana on the other side of the studio. Thank you very much for joining tonight. I appreciate you. Just one word as we go, Christiana. Just one word to all our viewers. Yes, from you. Thank you for coming.
time to make a change. Rebuild, re-strategize. Just re-evaluate. Keep moving. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep loving yourself. Self-love is the most
Mm,
important. Thank you so
mm.
much for having me once again. God
Thank
bless you
you.
all. Thank you, thank
Thank
you, thank
you.
you,
Thank
thank you.
you. I want to say to us that our passion for whatever we love to do will count in this season. It will count 100% this season. What you love to do. I know a lot of I'm looking at myself. Oh, you remember I said here at the turning point that I'm going to go to gym. My plan is today, and they lock all the gyms. So what is the other strategy to make it work for me? Looking at myself, adding it weight on a daily basis. But I'm working on it. I know God will help me. I don't want anybody to laugh. Or I know someone that will laugh, laugh, laugh. God bless you. Until I come your way, I want to stay blessed. And my heart cry is that God will keep us safe. I know there's a lot of bereavement here and there, but in all of this, we know that we are more than a conqueror. Remember that tough time does not last, but tough people do. Let's hang on to that which we believe. And I can say to you clearly that joy, 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 joy will come to us. Thank you very much. God bless you. Love you so much. Thank you. Bye. I appreciate everyone for joining. If I'm not able to call our name, I appreciate you. Know that I appreciate you so